All right. So, you want to know if dropping $1,000 on XRP right now is a good idea? We dug into this Motley Fool article by Alex Carchidi, and he seems pretty excited about XRP, especially after this deal with a Portuguese currency exchange
Yeah.
called Unicâmbio.
Unicâmbio, yeah, they're using XRP for transfers between Portugal and Brazil, which is, not just some theoretical use case. This is like happening.
So it's not just about the tech, it's about real-world adoption. But why should anyone care about this company in Portugal using XRP? What makes this a big deal?
Well, think about it this way. You want to send money internationally, right? You're probably using something like SWIFT. These traditional systems are slow, they're expensive, and honestly, they're kind of outdated. We're talking fees of tens of dollars per transaction, and then you got to wait days for it to go through.
Ouch.
Yeah. But with XRP, those same transfers could cost fractions of a cent, and they settle in seconds. I mean, that kind of speed and cost efficiency is a game changer, especially if you're doing a lot of business internationally.
Okay, so I'm starting to see the appeal here. But is this just a one-off?
Well, that's the really interesting part. The article actually mentions other financial institutions in Portugal and the EU. They're already integrating XRP into their systems. And this interconnectedness is what makes it so powerful. The more institutions that use it, the more valuable the network becomes. Every new user just adds to the efficiency and the utility of the whole system.
So it's like a snowball effect.
Exactly. It's a network effect. And this network effect could have huge implications for the future of XRP. I mean, more users mean more transactions, and more transactions mean more demand for XRP itself.
Okay, so that explains why this guy's so excited. But is this all just hype? Or is there something more substantial behind it?
Well, to understand that, we need to dig a little deeper into how XRP actually works. It's not just another cryptocurrency. It actually leverages this unique technology called the XRP Ledger Consensus Protocol.
Okay, so less about the hype, more about the tech. Hit me with the details. How does this protocol actually make things faster and cheaper?
Okay, so think of it this way. Traditional systems like SWIFT, they involve all these intermediaries, and they each take their cut. And it adds to the processing time. It's like sending a package through multiple sorting centers before it reaches its destination.
So lots of middlemen, each slowing things down and adding to the cost.
Exactly. But the XRP Ledger Consensus Protocol cuts out those middlemen. It allows direct transfers between parties, so you significantly reduce costs and processing times. Like, imagine sending that package directly to the recipient without any detours.
I like it. Cutting out the middleman. I'm all about that.
Who is it?
So less bureaucracy, more efficiency. But hold on. If XRP can do all this, why hasn't every bank and financial institution already jumped on board?
Well, that's where things get a little tricky. While the technology is impressive, there are some potential hurdles. The article mentions a few key risks, including the impact of global trade dynamics and the fluctuating value of the US dollar.
Okay, so first up, global trade. How could that affect XRP adoption?
Okay, so imagine there's talk of these increased tariffs being imposed, on goods traded between countries.
Right.
If those tariffs go up, it could potentially slow down global trade.
So fewer goods moving across borders means fewer cross-border payments. So that would definitely put a damper on XRP's growth.
Exactly. Less demand for cross-border transactions means less demand for XRP, which could impact its price.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, what about the US dollar? How does that factor into all of this?
Well, when the US dollar gets stronger, it tends to make other currencies, including cryptocurrencies, look risky in comparison, so investors might shy away from crypto and flock to the perceived safety of the dollar.
So it's kind of like a seesaw effect. Strong dollar could mean weaker XRP?
That's one way to look at it. It all comes down to investor sentiment and, how they perceive risk in the market. But let's not forget that the crypto world is also heavily influenced by regulatory decisions.
Right. Governments and regulatory bodies are still kind of figuring out how to handle this whole cryptocurrency thing. How could that impact XRP specifically?
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the regulatory landscape for crypto. Some countries are embracing it, while others are taking a more cautious approach. And this lack of clarity can make investors hesitant, especially institutional investors, who need to comply with strict regulations.
So it's like navigating a minefield. One wrong step and boom.
Well, it's not quite that dramatic, but there are definitely potential risks. For example, if a major government decides to impose strict regulations on XRP, or even ban it outright, that could have a significant impact on its value.
Okay, so we've got these potential economic headwinds, a fluctuating dollar, and regulatory uncertainty. It sounds like investing in XRP isn't exactly a walk in the park. So where do we go from here? How do we weigh these risks against the potential rewards?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. Remember, every investment carries some level of risk. The key is to understand those risks and then decide if the potential reward is worth it.
So for our listener who's considering investing that $1,000, what should they be thinking about?
The first thing I would say is don't get caught up in the hype. Take a step back and look at the fundamentals. Does XRP solve a real problem? Does it have a clear use case?
I mean, we've talked about the potential for, faster and cheaper cross-border transactions. That seems like a pretty solid use case to me.
It is, but remember, potential doesn't guarantee success. You need to consider the bigger picture. What's the competitive landscape like? Are there other cryptocurrencies trying to solve the same problem? How does XRP stack up against them?
Okay, so due diligence is key. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And do your research on the competition. What else?
Think about your investment timeline. Are you looking for a quick return? Or are you in it for the long haul? The article emphasizes that XRP is a long-term play. You need to be prepared to ride out the volatility and, have faith in the underlying technology.
So patience is key. And don't expect to get rich quick. It sounds like investing in XRP is a bit like planting a seed. You got to nurture it, give it time to grow, and be prepared for some storms along the way.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. And remember, even with the most careful planning, there are no guarantees when it comes to investing.
Right. Always good to keep that in mind. So let's bring this all back to our listener. They've got $1,000 ready to invest. Knowing what we know now, what would you say to them?
I'd say this. The decision to invest in XRP, or any cryptocurrency for that matter, it's a personal one. It depends on your financial goals, your risk tolerance, and, your belief in the underlying technology.
So it's not about, following the hype or chasing quick profits. It's about making an informed decision that aligns with your overall investment strategy.
Exactly. We've given you the information, we've explored the potential and the risks, but ultimately, the choice is yours.
Right. We're just here to give you the tools to make a smart decision, but we're not financial advisors. So do your own research and make sure you're comfortable with the level of risk involved.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. And, as you're considering this investment, I want you to think about something. Imagine a world where sending money across borders is as easy and affordable as sending a text message.
That would be revolutionary. No more crazy fees, no more waiting days for transfers to clear.
Exactly. That's the potential we're talking about here. XRP could be part of building a more inclusive and a more efficient global financial system.
It's a pretty exciting thought. But like we've discussed, there are these challenges to overcome. Regulation, adoption, competition. It's a complex landscape.
It is, but one thing is clear. The world of finance is changing rapidly, and technologies like XRP are at the forefront of that change.
Yeah, whether you decide to invest or not, this is definitely a space worth watching. The future of finance is being written right now, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.